Hello, everyone, and welcome to LeeLa. I'm PHILBROOK. It's going to be a super fun show this evening. We're going to kick it off with some backgrounds, followed by an opening intention. Super excited for our special guest, Stephanie Kittell, who's going to do Wings of the Heart flow yoga, followed by some questions. And then Stephanie will be singing for us this evening, a closing intention, and final announcements. So here we go. I'd like to introduce my co-host, Lisa English. Lisa?
Thanks so much, Lee. Welcome to LeeLa, everyone. This is a place where we hope to inspire you all to live a congruent and intentional life. It's also a playground where you can learn, explore, and have fun. I'm a teacher, an entrepreneur, and a content creator for small businesses, where I help them navigate this digital world we're all living in right now, whether that's via Zoom or online marketing platforms or social media. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it back over to my co-host, Lee PHILBROOK. Lee?
Thanks. The mission of the LeeLa community is really to transform conversations and practices into actions that make a difference. And LeeLa actually comes from Sanskrit, and it means divine or creative play. A little bit about me. I'm a Reiki master, a craniosacral therapist, and a master practitioner of NLP and hypnotherapy. And NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, is like learning the language of the mind. It's like getting the owner's manual for your mind. I often hear the phrases, I wish things were different, or I feel stuck in the circumstances of my life. And I notice that these individuals are not able to make long-lasting changes, or they continue to express why things don't work for them. The tools and techniques that I employ with my clients create sustainable changes, and they are now living their best lives. I'd now like to do our opening intention that really connects us and holds the space. So please close your eyes. May divine grace surround us, uphold us, and cherish us all. May it support us and our sacred trust and community. May we be strong together and our journeys be brighter and higher for having walked side by side. May we be guides for others and ourselves with clarity, tenderness, and light, feeling gentle in our minds and clear with our words. Sending peace in all directions of time. With gratitude, we take this moment to arrive and join together. Open your eyes. Welcome to the room. I'd now like to pass it over to Lisa English to introduce our special guest. Lisa?
Stephanie Kittell is the co-founder of the newly launched Space of Love, an online and in-person community platform designed to help you access the tools and body, mind, spirit practices that activate your ability to stay in your heart. Her belief is when you thrive, we all thrive. Stephanie is a yoga, movement, and mindfulness facilitator, a songbird and sound medicine maker, media producer, and compassionate creatrix. Originally from Toronto, Canada, she is currently living in the cradle of Mother Nature in Guatemala. It is now my absolute pleasure to pass the floor over to our special guest, Stephanie Kittell.
Hi, thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lisa, for holding this space and for welcoming me so warmly. I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, and welcome to all who are here, whom I maybe can't see, but if you do feel free to turn your video on, I would love to say hello, and also you're welcome to keep your video turned off. So before we begin our practice tonight, I just want to share with you a quote by Rumi, the 13th century poet, and he reminds us that your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And so my feeling in space of love and what I'm creating, what I've been working with, is that by opening to a more loving connection with our body, mind, hearts, and that's as they are in the moment, rather than wishing they were something else, these barriers within us, these narratives, these habit patterns, these energies, these unnecessary tensions, they begin to dissolve. And so all the barriers we've built against love, which I think is really our true nature, love, and an inner spaciousness starts to open up and reveal itself. And so that spaciousness, I like to think it's called the space of love, that we open to a space of love that's already there inherently within us. And so I also believe that this is a love that includes all and serves all. And then when we start to kind of dissolve those barriers within us and open up that space, that we naturally begin to serve others from this space of love. So with that in mind, I would love to start our practice, and we're going to move through a wings of the heart yoga flow. So this is a gentle flow, but please take it at your pace. I'll be checking in. If you want to turn your camera on, you can, and take it at the pace that feels right for you. Take rest when you need to take rest. And if something doesn't feel right in your body, you know better than I do. So please honor that. Okay, and so come to a seat that feels relatively comfortable for you. I'm just going to back up a little bit. Good. And so finding a seat that feels comfortable for you, and you may be cross-legged, you may be sitting in a chair, you may be on the floor. And I invite you to bring both hands to your low abdomen. And let's take a few moments here, perhaps to close the eyes or let the eyes soften. And as we begin to simply tune into the rhythm of breath within, and your hands resting on the low belly, I invite you to notice if you feel the movement of breath here in this space. The hands are simply there to feel, nothing to force. And perhaps you begin to invite the abdomen, the belly, to expand into the hands as you breathe in. And it draws in gently towards the spine as you breathe out, breathing through the nose if it's available to you. Perhaps noticing if our shoulders are hiking up as we do this and letting them soften. Maybe you begin to lengthen the inhale, to lengthen the exhale. Maybe you begin to notice the spaces that open up between the inhale and the exhale, between the exhale and the inhale. A few more breaths here, allowing this to really ground our awareness in the breathing body, to start to fall in love with this breathing body all over again. And also meeting your body, mind, heart, where it's at in this moment, whatever sensations, emotions, or thoughts are also flowing through. Allow them to flow through and really return to the sensation of the breath in and out. Good. And then let's bring one hand to rest on the heart space and the other hand stays on the belly. And from here, bringing our awareness to the movement of breath in the upper chest. So as you breathe, perhaps noticing how the chest naturally rises and expands. And as you breathe out, noticing how it naturally draws down and in. A professor of anatomy and a poet, Gil Hedley, once said that the heart is the centerpiece of a fluid system. That could be the blood in our body, it could be the flow of emotion and feeling within. The heart is the centerpiece of the fluid system, and your lungs are like its wings. And every time you breathe in, the heart takes flight. And every time you breathe out, the heart finds ground, home. Let's take a few breaths here. And then for these last few breaths, we're going to bring our awareness to the belly and the chest. And so as you inhale, you might feel the belly expand, the ribs expand, and then the upper chest perhaps lifts as you sip in a little extra air. And as you breathe out, the upper chest softens, the belly gently draws in. Moving at your pace with the breath. Feeling its flow in your body. Okay, let's take one more full round of breath here. And then release the hands. We're going to now get into a little release of the scalene muscles, which run in behind your ear, down your neck, and in and under the upper pec muscle. And when we open these muscles, we open a greater capacity for breathing, especially in the upper chest. So we're going to start to open this space. So from here, take your right hand and bring it across to your left upper chest, sort of below your collarbone, the upper chest. And then we're going to take the left hand on top. And we're going to push in and pull down towards your armpit slightly. So you're pulling down in this direction. And then from here, start to tilt your head in the opposite direction. So right ear towards right shoulder. See if you can keep the shoulders level. Try to resist popping up. Level shoulders, a little pull in and a push down at the upper chest. And then from here, I invite you to explore a little with the head and neck. Maybe you look down towards your shoulder. Maybe you tilt your chin and look up towards the sky and simply notice what sensations are present as you do. Try to stay with that awareness of breath that we've cultivated. If one spot feels particularly sticky, you might pause there for an extra breath. And then if you want to get a little more curious with sensation, you can start to move your jaw around as though you're a cow chewing cud. I'm making noise. You can if you want to. Notice how that feels deep in the muscles of the scalenes, the neck, the jaw, the tongue. If you want, you can also stick the tongue out and wiggle it around. Even let yourself look completely silly here. Maybe you try to lick your shoulder if that's possible. When they stretch for the tongue, one of the largest muscles in our body. Let's take 3 more breaths in this exploration, however you are exploring. And then slowly coming back to center and releasing the hands. Maybe take a moment to wiggle the shoulders, wiggle the hands, and just let go whatever has crept in terms of unnecessary tension. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So left hand crosses to the right upper chest. It's like you're pledging allegiance. And then right hand comes on top. We're going to press in and pull down gently. And then from here, we're going to go to the opposite side. So left ear towards left shoulder, and start to feel into the sensation that's present, maybe moving the chin up and down slightly. You decide how much pressure you use with the hands. Stay connected to the breath. Breathe into the spaces that open up. Be curious and also compassionate with your body, your breath. Maybe you start to wiggle the jaw around and notice how that feels. Wow. Maybe you stick the tongue out and wiggle it around. One more breath here. And then slowly bring the head back to center, release the arms. Good. We're going to stay seated for one more exploration. If you want to change the way you are seated, you are welcome to. So from here, we're going to take our hands and interlace them behind the backs of the back of our head. So much like so, right at the base of the skull where the neck reaches the head. And then from here, we're going to explore. As you inhale, start to lift your chest slightly and spread your elbows wide, maybe even look up any amount. As you exhale, draw your chin in towards your chest and your elbows towards one another as you gently flex the upper spine forward. Inhale to spread the elbows wide, press your head back into your hands, lift your heart space, maybe your eyes. Exhale, draw chin to chest, press hands to head, elbows inward. We're going to try a few like this, finding your pace with your rhythm of breath. I'm just starting to open up the space in the upper chest, in the neck, in the back. And starting to explore taking flight with the heart. And try 2 more at your own pace with your rhythm of breath. And then come back to center. Release your arms. Good. We're going to find our way now to a tabletop position. So finding yourself on your hands and knees. And we want to see that the hands are roughly under the shoulders. Knees are roughly under the hips. And you can curl the toes under or bring the tops of the feet to the mat. And from here, we're going to try a few simple rounds of cat-cow. So starting with a neutral spine, bring your awareness to your pelvis. And as you inhale, start to lift your tailbone as you tilt your pelvis forward and start to pull your upper chest through the gate of your arms as your shoulders draw down your back. As you exhale, start to draw your tailbone down to the ground, your hip crests reach skyward. Spine curls to the sky and chin to your chest. Puff the shoulder blades wide on your back. Again, inhale, lift your tailbone. Pull your chest forward and up. And exhale, rounding spine to the sky. We're going to continue with your rhythm of breath. You might even notice those little spaces that open up between the inhale and the exhale, between the exhale and the inhale. As you do this, fingertips are spread wide. You might even start to awaken an awareness of the pressure of your hands on your mat. So as you round the spine, you might press your hands forward slightly, a little energetically. And as you pull the chest forward into extension, you might pull the heels of your palms towards your knees and your mouth. So waking up a little press and a pull with the hands. Let's try 2 more rounds of breath. Noticing where the space opens up. And then coming back to a neutral spine. If you want to take a break for the hands, you can bring your fists to the mat, or you can keep your palms down. We're going to now draw our legs together and bring our toes to touch, and then see if we can lift our feet up off the mat. So our feet drawing towards our bum. And from here, we're going to get a little bit into the side body. And so as you start to look over your left shoulder, start to draw your toes towards your left shoulder. So you're making a crescent shape with your side body. And then inhale back to center, your feet to center, head to center. Exhale, look over your right shoulder, bring your toes towards your right side. And we're going to continue like that, a few breaths, moving side to side. Really waking up awareness of activating the side body and also stretching. Try 1 more on each side with your breath. And then coming back to center, let's sit back for a moment, give the hands a break, bring your forearms together, interlace your fingers, and start to make rotations at your wrist. So just working a little bit of movement into the wrist joint. Good. Take it both ways. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a wicked thunderstorm that just rolled through Guatemala in this moment. I like it. We're bringing some magic. All right, we're going to come back to our hands and knees. And now we're going to invite a little bit of a free flow. So I invite you to perhaps close your eyes and tune into the space of your heart. Just take a moment to feel what's present there. And then as if your whole body moved from this space, start to stir your heart space in any way that feels right. Naturally, the rest of your body will start to organically follow, maybe shoulders and hips, head and neck. Maybe a stirring. Maybe you kind of lean into some areas that need a little bit of extra attention. So really checking in with that deep inner intuition of your heart and letting that guide your body. simply stirring. If you need to move the hands wider or explore coming low to the mat, if you want to adjust your legs, you can. There's no right or wrong here. Simply allow yourself to feel. To move and be moved. And we'll take 3 more breaths in this process. And finding your way back to center, taking a moment there. We're going to give a little extra wrist love now. So let's turn our fingertips to face towards our knees. Your thumb might be facing the outer edge of the mat. Your fingertips towards your knees. If you want a little less pressure, you can walk your hands closer to your knees. If you want a little more, you can walk them further. So we're going to take a few moments here to simply rock gently forward and back, but keeping your whole hand down. So it might be a very subtle movement. Maintaining a neutral spine. Just getting into a little bit of resilience in the joints of the wrist. And then from here, we're going to start to lean back any amount, but keep your hands down on the mat. You can find the depth that you can go to today. And then we'll see if we can lift just our thumbs and our heels of our palms off the mat. The fingertips and the knuckles stay down. And we're going to see if we can draw little circles with our thumbs. So just the thumbs and the heels of the palms are lifted. Drawing circles in both directions with your thumbs. I know it feels juicy, it feels sticky. Okay, if you like, you can start to bend the elbows any amount. We're going to start to sit back a little further to your depth. Don't push it. If this is new, this will be sensation rich. And then from here, for a count of 10, we're going to slowly peel the hand up and back to the fingertips. So for 10, 9, slowly peeling the hand off. 8, 7, 6, 5, fingertips still down. 4, 3, 2, and lift off. Bring your forearms together, interlace your hands, and once again, make circles with your wrists. Beautiful. Take it in the other direction. All right, let's bring our hands back to the mat, but walk them further forward than the shoulders. Let's curl the toes under, lift our hips up and back for downward facing dog. So we're reaching hips towards the sky, fingertips are spread wide. We might take a moment to pedal the legs, perhaps reaching one heel to the earth and bending the opposite knee and then switching. You might take a moment to sway the hips a little side to side. Maybe it's a gentle rock of the head and neck that you need here. Stay connected to that deep awareness of breath in the body as it flows. And then let's take one deep, full breath in downward dog. And then look back towards your feet and start to walk your hands back towards your feet as you bring your heels to the earth, bend the knees as much as you need, and we'll find ourselves in a forward fold. Let's hold on to opposite elbows with our hands. Bend the knees as much as you need. Let the head and neck relax. Maybe a little sway side to side in the body. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we'll relax the arms, release them. And bending a little more deeply in the knees, we're going to slowly roll up through the spine. Try to relax the head, the neck, the arms, the fingertips. Feel the process. Beautiful. And as you arrive to standing, from here, we're going to see if we can take the arms wide, wide, wide like a T with palms facing forward. And then reach the arms as far back as you can as you lift your upper chest towards the sky, but stay strong in the legs, in the abs, in the glutes. Take a deep inhale here, spreading your wings as wide as you can. And as you exhale, reach your arms forward, cross one elbow over the other, and then reach your hands towards your shoulder, like you're giving yourself a hug. Maybe you're holding tops of shoulders or backs, and then tilt your chin slightly, a little rounding forward through the upper spine. We're gonna flow like this. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your head, spread your wings wide, maybe look up any amount. As you exhale, arms come forward and overlap to hug and wrap around as you flex forward gently. Inhale to open, expand, take flight. Exhale to ground, draw inwards. So we're working through the movement of the upper spine here. Try to stay stable in the legs, strong support. And really feel the flow of your breath with each movement. Feel the expansion that is possible, and of course, the contraction that is possible. Let's try one more full round, expanding and contracting. And then from here, let's inhale, sweep the arms, reach up towards the sky, part the arms and bow forward all the way forward. Release the hands to the earth. Let's inhale, halfway rise, lengthening spine, hands to shins. Exhale, hands to the mat. We're going to walk forward to a plank position. So yogi's choice, you might start with knees down or knees up. We're going to hold our plank for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to slowly lower all the way down to the earth. A few gentle flows through a cobra position. So hands under your shoulders, turn the tops of the feet to the mat, press all 10 toenails down into the mat. A gentle engagement in the low abdominals, and let's inhale to lift the chest off the mat. Keep the back of the neck long, so crown of the head reaching forward to start. Exhale, slowly release down towards the ground. Inhale, a gentle lift of the chest. Legs are strong, abs engaged. Exhale, slowly release. Try that 2 more times with your breath. Good. Warming up the spine, slowly, slowly. The next time, let's curl the toes under, rise up to hands and knees, and then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So let's take 3 rounds of breath here. Spreading the fingertips wide. Finding the shoulder blades broad on the back. Noticing the sensation of breath. And then from here, let's take our right leg, inhale, reach it towards the sky. And exhale, draw the knee forward, step your foot between your hands. We're going to lower the back knee for this first one and bring the top of the foot to the mat. From here, let's inhale, sweep the arms up as though you're holding a ball overhead. Maybe you lift the chest energetically. Let's take a moment here to really root down into the support of the pelvis. So tailbone drawing towards the earth. And if you can imagine, pulling your front heel towards your back knee energetically, really waking up the inner line of the legs, strength deep in the pelvis. And then from here, let's inhale, take the arms wide with palms facing forward, that wingspan we were working on. And as you exhale, draw the arms forward, round forward gently, and hug in, shin to chest. Inhale, sweep the arms wide, lift the chest. Exhale, hug in as you gently flex forward in the upper spine. Continuing a few rounds with your breath. Stay rooted in the support of your low body. Take flight with the wings of your heart, following the movement of your breath. We'll try one more round, taking your time. The next time you inhale, take the arms wide and then reach them up to the sky. Maybe you look towards your palms as though they're holding a ball of energy overhead. And when you exhale, bring the hands to the earth. We're going to step back to a plank position. Your choice, knees up or down. We'll take a deep breath in and then lower for 3, 2, all the way to the ground. This time, reach your arms back alongside you, palms facing up, tops of the feet to the mat. Let's inhale, just the head, chest, and arms lift to hover above the earth. Keep reaching your fingertips back towards your toes, crown of the head forward. Exhale, release down. Inhale again, lift up, arms reaching back, crown of the head reaching forward, the lift in the chest. Exhale, lower down. 3 more times. If you'd like to lift the legs as you rise, you're welcome to. Toes are pointed. Let the descent be slow on the exhale. 2 more times with your breath. As you lower down, bring your hands under your shoulders, curl your toes. Let's rise to hands and knees and back to downward facing dog. Lifting the hips, taking a moment here. 3 deep breaths. Maybe you feel the pulse of your heart. Maybe you sense the dance of breath in the heart space. And then with the next inhale, let's reach the left leg up and up and up. And exhale, draw your knee towards your nose and then step your foot between your palms. Lower your back knee, turn the top of the foot towards the mat. And when you feel ready, rooting down through the feet, let's slowly rise up through the torso and the arms, holding an energetic ball overhead. Again, find the tailbone drawing down, scoop the low abdomen in, lift your heart space. Imagine pulling your front heel energetically towards your back knee and see what that does for your experience. And then with the next inhale, let's take the arms wide, expand your wingspan, open your chest any amount. And exhale, hug forward, draw chin to chest, rounding the upper spine. Try this with each breath. Inhaling to expand your wingspan. Exhaling to return home to the depths of your heart. You may keep the eyes open to help with balance. You may explore closing the eyes. Feel into your experience. Almost there. One more round. And then the next time you inhale, spread the arms wide and then reach them up, holding this energetic ball overhead. And then exhale, hands to the earth. This time we're going to curl the back toes under and step the back leg forward. From here, let's inhale to halfway rise, long spine, and then exhale to fold forward. Inhale, take the arms wide, rise all the way with the torso, all the way. Hold an energetic ball overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands down alongside your body. From here, let's once again reach the arms up, except this time we're gonna hook our thumbs overhead and reach our fingertips towards the earth as though you could tear your arms apart from one another. So really active pull on the connected thumbs, waking up some deep strength in the triceps. Good. Take another deep breath in here. And as you exhale, take the arms wide, reach back behind you. And once again, we're gonna hook our thumbs behind us, draw the fingertips towards the earth, and draw the shoulder blades down. Notice how that feels. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly hinge forward halfway and pause. So as though your upper torso is a tabletop, crown of the head reaching forward, keep drawing your arms and hands energetically back and up. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, fold the torso forward any amount as you start to lift the hands more and more. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you need. And let's relax the back of the neck. Take a full round of breath here. And then as you inhale, use the strength of your arms to start to pull your spine all the way up and up until you find yourself in standing and reaching the hands towards the earth. Keep reaching. And then release the hands alongside your body. Give yourself a little shimmy in the shoulders, a little shake in the arms. Good. And then we're gonna go again. So standing at the front of your mat, take your arms up, reach up, breathe in. Exhale, take the arms wide as you bow forward. Inhale to halfway rise, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to a plank. Your version, knees can be up or down. Take a deep breath in. And exhale as you lower for 3, 2, all the way down. This time we're gonna take the arms wide, like we're an airplane. And from here, as you inhale, you're gonna lift the upper torso, lift the head and lift the arms to hover. Good. If you like, you can lift the legs, explore that. If the low back is feeling tender, think about lengthening from your toes to your crown of your head and scoop the low abdomen in. And from here, like a plane that's turning in the night sky, let's take a deep breath in. And exhale, look to your left and reach your left arm as far to the left as you can. That side crunch that we worked on earlier, that crescent shape. Inhale, come back to center with your torso and head. Exhale, a little reach to the right so you could reach your right toes. The legs stay stationary. Inhale forward. Exhale to the left with the arms, the torso, the head. Inhale forward. Exhale to the right. And then inhale forward. Release down, bring your arms alongside your body, palms facing up, bring one ear to the mat. Maybe give your hips a little shimmy side to side. Maybe exploring the depth of each breath in and out. And then take your opposite ear to the mat. A few breaths here. And then gently bringing your head to center, hands under the shoulders. Curl your toes under. Let's rise to hands and knees. Up and back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Whether you pedal the legs or settle into stillness. And then from here, drawing both legs together so your feet are in the center line of the mat, still in this version of downward dog. Let's inhale, right leg reaches up and then start to open the hip. Bend your knee and draw your heel towards your glute. At the same time, sending your left heel down towards the earth. See if you can steer your heart space towards the center of the mat and relax the back of your neck. Stable through the shoulders. Maybe lift that upper knee a little higher. Breathing here. And then let's take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, turn that knee forward and draw your knee to your nose in plank. Pause. Inhale, lift up and back, open your hip. Exhale, knee draws forward to your right upper arm in plank. Maybe it taps. And then inhale, lift up and back, open your hip. Exhale, knee forward to your left upper arm. Maybe it touches, maybe not. Inhale, up and back, open your hip. And then exhale, knee forward, step the foot through. We're going to inhale, rise to a high lunge. Back knee stays lifted, always the option to keep it down. And then from here, let's pivot the back foot, heel to the mat, foot in line with the back edge of your mat as we sink into warrior 2, bending through the front knee, taking the arms wide, reaching fingertips to either end of your mat. And then from here, we're going to revolve our flow a little. So as you inhale, reach your left arm back, right arm turns to reach up, 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 open your heart space. Maybe you look up. Exhale, return the arms to parallel with the earth, with your own breath. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, returning. Stay so stable in the legs. One more time. And then let's straighten the front leg and turn your toes so that they're both facing in the same direction on the side edge of your mat. And from here, we're going to actually turn our toes a little bit to the corners of the mat so that we can come down into our goddess squat. So bringing your hands to your hips. And from here, you might shimmy the hips a little side to side as you bend through the knees. Feet are not facing forward, nor facing the side edge, but something in between, a sort of 45-degree angle. And then you might settle into the spot that feels like you can stay for a moment. And from here, we're going to take the arms wide, that wingspan we've been working on. Inhale and exhale, round forward through the upper spine. Stay stationary in the legs. 2 more. Inhale, reaching to expand through your heart. And exhale, forward, a little hug in. Maybe you switch which elbow is on top. 1 more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, round. And then inhale to reach the arms wide. And then turn the palms to the earth. We're going to straighten the legs. We're going to pivot the toes forward. And keeping the arms wide, we're going to bow halfway forward. Good. We're going to pause here. See if we can take a deep breath in. Maybe reach the arms back any amount. And then exhale, fold forward. Let the hands trickle down towards the earth. Let the back of your neck relax. Maybe take a moment here to sway gently side to side. You might be on fingertips. Maybe your hands are on the earth. And let this become a little fluid. Let your upper torso sway gently. Maybe the hips even sway slightly. Really enter into a space of feeling rather than forcing. And then you're going to bend the knees as much as you need and continue this sway side to side in the torso as you start to roll your spine up slowly. Let your arms dangle. Support yourself with the legs. Take your time to rise up. And then as you arrive, let's turn your right toes towards the top of your mat. Let's windmill the arms down, pick up your back heel, and let's step back to a plank position. Again, knees up or down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down. Tops of the feet to the mat. Reach your arms back, palms up, and reach back and perhaps hook your thumbs together as we did standing, or keep your arms extended and reaching back. And with this, we're going to lift our chest, lift our head. Try to resist craning through the back of the neck and keep the crown of the head forward. Maybe you lift the legs, toes are extending back. Maybe you lift a little higher through the chest, and let's take a deep breath in and out. Slowly release, arms alongside your body. Bring one ear to the mat. Relax your shoulders down. Let them melt. Perhaps bring your awareness to the movement of breath deep in the low back, the belly. Like an internal massage for this space. And then turn your head in the opposite direction. And then bring your head back to center, hands under your shoulders, curl your toes. Let's rise to hands and knees. And then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Maybe you sway or pedal. Maybe you're just as you are. Return to your breath always. And then let's bring the legs together at the midline of your mat. And as you inhale, the left leg reaches up. Open the hip, bend the knee, draw your heel towards your glute. Send your right heel towards the earth. Good. As we do this, see if we can steer the heart space to the center of the mat. Breathing deep. And then let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, draw the knee forward towards your nose, round your spine, hover in plank. Inhale, lift it up and back, open that hip. Exhale, knee towards your left upper arm in plank. Inhale, up and back, open. Exhale, knee towards your right upper arm, cross the body. Inhale, up and back, open. Exhale, knee forward towards your nose, hover, and step the foot between your palms. Good. We're going to pivot the back heel down for warrior two as we windmill the arms up and wide. And perhaps finding a little bit of depth here in the bend of the front knee. And see if we can organize the bowl of the pelvis to be relatively neutral. And with arms reaching wide, let's inhale, left palm turns back as we lift that arm. Draw your right arm down the back of your legs, stretch the left side body. Exhale, return to arms parallel with the earth. Two more times, your breath. The inhale to rise. The exhale to return. One more. And return. Pausing here in our warrior two. Arms outstretched, palms towards the earth. And then we're going to straighten the front leg and turn your left toes towards the other side of your mat. I'm going to switch around here so I can face you. Okay, good. So with legs nice and wide for this one, we're going to once again reach the arms wide, expand your wingspan, open the heart. And then this time, hug your arms forward as you round all the way down in this hugged position. Let your whole upper body drape forward. And keep your hands on opposite shoulders. Maybe you're reaching for the backs of your shoulder blades for a little extra pull. Relax the head and neck. If you like a little sway side to side, your head might tickle the earth, maybe not. Here in the depths of this hug, maybe whispering a little self-love to your own heart space as you breathe. And then pausing in center. Release the arms down and bend the knees as we slowly roll the spine up and up and up and up. Relaxing the shoulders at the top. We're going to turn our toes towards the front of the mat, windmill the arms down, bend the knee, hands frame the foot. Let's step back to a plank. This time, lower the knees, take them wide on the mat. Maybe draw your toes to touch, and let's sit the hips back towards a child's pose. You might bow your forehead towards the earth. You might wiggle the fingertips a little further forward and then relax the arms down. You might turn the palms up or leave them facing down. Taking a few breaths here. Holding space for all that is flowing through. In breath, in body, in your heart. Let's take 3 more deep, nourishing breaths here. And then from here, starting to lift the head and walk your fingertips back towards your knees as you slowly bring your spine back up. We're going to lean to one side with our hands so that we can swing our legs in front of us. And in a moment, we're going to come into a reclined active twist. I invite you to maybe take a look and watch this one just so you get a sense of it. And then I'll let you get into a really nice and slow moving meditation. And so I'll demonstrate first what this is we'll be lying on our backs with our feet as wide as our mat and our knees bent. Arms can be outstretched wide with palms up or bending at the elbows. And from here, we're going to let each inhale carry the knees, the inhale finds us centered. The exhale carries the knees to one side and maybe the head rotates to the other side. The inhale brings us back up. The exhale takes the knees towards the other side, the head rotating in the opposite direction. Okay, so I invite you to lie down. Nice. Yeah. Maybe you stretch the arms wide with palms up, that wingspan. Maybe you bend at the elbows to make a goalpost or cactus shape. And with your feet as wide as your mat, your knees bent, flow with the rhythm of your breath. Each inhale brings the knees back up to center. The exhale takes them to one side. The inhale brings you back up. The exhale to the other side. You might start rotating your head in the opposite direction of your knees if that feels appropriate. Maybe you decide to close the eyes. Maybe the eyes stay open but soft. Feeling into the movement at the hips, the rotation through the pelvis that travels all the way up the spine, all the way through to the crown of the head. And continuing to breathe and move, and maybe you even begin to slow the breath and the movement down. A reminder from Rumi that your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. We'll spend a few more moments here. If you'd like to pause on a side and take a few breaths there, you are welcome to. And then when you feel ready and your knees come back to center, let's hug the knees in towards the chest, wrap the hands around, maybe a gentle rock in the pelvis side to side. And then just in case we've built any extra barriers of unnecessary tension during this practice, we're going to lift both our arms and our legs towards the sky. Keep your head down and start to allow your fingers, toes, hands, wrists, and ankles to move in whatever fluid way feels right. Your elbows, your knees. You might imagine like your limbs are seagrass on an ocean floor, swaying with the current. Without having to hold the weight of your body, let your joints simply explore movement. And then we're going to start to let both the arms and the legs shake as vigorously as we can, letting all that residual tension or stickiness trickle all the way down to the earth. And we'll take 3 deep breaths with a sigh on the exhale. Keep shaking, breathe in. One more. Good. Hug the knees back into the chest. And then slowly release your legs long. We're going to find our way into Shavasana, your final resting pose. So maybe you like to lie with legs spread and arms spread, drawing the shoulder blades down. If the low back is feeling a little tender, you might keep your knees bent and your feet as wide as your mat, and then your knees gently resting in towards one another. You're welcome to keep the arms wide and expanded, Or maybe bring your hands to rest on your belly or chest or both. And if there's any little movement your body needs to settle into stillness, then allow it that. And as your body settles into stillness, draw your awareness to your heart space. Allowing yourself to observe and feel all that is present there. Perhaps the pulse of your heart, the rhythm. Maybe you notice the movement of breath in the heart space. Maybe there's a feeling tone, a warmth, a coolness, a heaviness, a lightness. Just you and your heart. As it is. Maybe for these last few moments here, you consciously slow the rhythm of your heart. And then begin to invite a deeper, fuller breath into the space of the heart. Enjoying the fullness of the inhale that allows the wings of your heart to expand. The depth of the exhale that returns you home. Each breath an expansion and contraction. Each breath a dance in the heart space. When you feel ready, starting to invite movement back in, perhaps through the fingers and toes. Maybe a gentle rock of the head side to side. Slowly returning to this moving body. You might decide to stretch the arms back overhead and lengthen the legs. Maybe even taking a deep inhale as you stretch from fingertips to toes. And then softening as you exhale, and if you like, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Maybe even a little rock side to side. And over this next minute, in your own time and in your own way, slowly making your way back towards a seat that feels comfortable for you. When you find your seat, if you like, resting your hands on your heart space. Simply feeling what is present there beneath the touch of your hands. And in the practice of vocal toning, the sound of the heart chakra is ah. And you can imagine this like a sweet and delicious ah, or maybe it's a needing to vent something. Ah. Maybe it's a surprised ah. We're going to explore this sound together over the course of 3 breaths. Each exhale is an opportunity to let the sound of your heart's ah express itself. And so you're muted, but we will do this together. And so breathing in. Ah. And 2 more times. Ah. Ah. With the echoes of that resonance deep in your heart, you're welcome to bring your palms together now in a gesture of integration of body, mind, heart, in a gesture of interconnectedness of all body, minds, and hearts. Thank you so, so much for sharing your heart with me today. Thank you for your presence and your trust. I bow to you and I bow to all. Namaste. Thank you. Lisa and Lee, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Beautiful. I feel so grounded now. That was wonderful. Appreciate everything. We are going to take a couple questions. If you do have any questions for Stephanie now, you can put them in the chat box. I do have a quick question for you, Stephanie. So if you don't mind when I read it, you can unmute yourself. So if you can maybe just describe for everyone what you're building within the space of love right now in your community.
Oh, thank you for asking, Lisa. Space of Love is a co-creation that was born from my partner VJ and I, and a whole collective of heart alchemists, as we like to say. And it really grew out of wanting to return and help others return to a space of heart-centered thriving. I believe it's not enough to live, that we need to really step into thriving in our heart. And we really work with fusing science and spirituality together through yoga, through movement, through mindfulness, through Dharma discussions, through sound and music and medicine and voice activation and creativity and play. And there are 9 other people within our collective that all have different medicines, if you will, to offer, because we believe that there are many pathways through the heart. For some, it's discussion. For some, it's moving the body. For some, it's writing. And so we're providing a space for all of those pathways to come together. And the goal is to step into our hearts and to really embody and understand what that feels like and what that can offer to the rest of the world.
That's so beautiful. And this is all, you're doing some online, you're doing some retreats as well.
Yeah, it's a mix. Right now it's more online. As you know, the world is a little bit strange right now. But we're really using that opportunity to connect with others all around the world. And there will be retreats and in-person workshops as well as space allows.
Beautiful. We'll keep an eye out for that, and we'll send that to all of our followers as well, as you evolve, as we evolve. Thank you again. And before we move on to our song, Stephanie, can you fill in the blank for us here? Love is blank. Love is.
Ooh. What's coming to mind right now is everything. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, love it. Love it. Thank you again, Stephanie. Heather says, love that ah is the sound of the heart chakra. Are you able to share some of the sounds of the other chakras? The heart
Yes,
sound.
absolutely. And Heather, hi. So good to know that you're here practicing. Yes, this comes from a practice of vocal toning. And so for the root chakra, the sound is and it's like which is like the most guttural, primordial sound. As we move up to Swadhisthana, the sacral chakra is, so we go from to ooh, and then we go to O for the Manipura or the solar plexus chakra. So ooh, and then the heart is a nice, delicious ah. The Vishuddhi, the throat chakra, is I, and Agnya, the third eye chakra, is A, and then it's A for the throat chakra, I for Agnya, the third eye, and then for Sahasrara, the crown chakra, it's E. So it's ah, A, I, E, and you can even go higher with E, and sometimes we work the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale, or you can just do the sounds, ah, A, I, E, and then go back down and kind of cycle. It's a nice way to warm up all the different vowel possibilities in the sound if you're looking to sing. And it's a nice way to also just connect with each energy center.
Wonderful. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate everything you've done and for us tonight. And we would like to surprise everyone with the a cappella song you were going to sing for us. And that's an original song called Space of Love. So I'm going to put up the lyrics on the screen right now for anyone who would like to follow along. So I will pop those up if you just give me a second here. Okay, over to you, Stephanie.
Beautiful. So if you like, I invite you to join in and sing along. Or you're welcome to close your eyes, maybe bring your hands to your heart and simply feel into the space as these words land in your body, in your heart, in your mind, however they land, however they resonate with you. May the energy of love be present in all that I think, in all that I feel. May the melody of love be present in all that I sing, in all that I bring, in all that is. May there be love. Ooh, all that I am because of love. May the energy of love be present in all that we think, in all that we feel. In all that is, may there be love. Ooh, in all that we receive and share. May there be love. I am in love, I am for love, in the space of love. I am in love, I am for love, in the space of love. I am in love, I am for love, in the space of love. I am in love, I am for love, in the space of love. I am in love, I am for love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, that I feel what a divine way to complete this evening. That was absolutely beautiful, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And it's a perfect segue as we'll now do our closing intentions. So please close your eyes. As we close our time together with gratitude to all, we pause to offer each other love and kindness. May we understand, may our understanding of love be expanded by what we have shared as we open ourselves to growth. May we rest in trust and surrender ourselves and our paths to divine grace, asking that this time together be protected, corrected, and held high. May we now see through love's eyes and understand beyond words. May we all be safe, happy, and healthy. May we all rest in full joy and know that there is no distance between friends in time or space. Divine strength and peace surround us until we meet again. Open your eyes. And now for our final announcements, over to Lisa.
Thank you again to the wonderful and talented Stephanie for a beautiful evening. We appreciate everything. Again, I'd like to remind you all and share with you the quote by Rumi, who was a 13th century poet. Rumi reminds us, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Stephanie reminds us that by opening to a more loving us, a loving connection with our body, mind, and hearts, these barriers within us, our narratives, habit patterns, and energies, they begin to dissolve, and an inner spaciousness starts to open up and reveal itself. This is what Stephanie and this whole practice embodies, the space of love. Our next LeeLa event is going to be Wednesday, November 4th with Emily DeLea. That's an Aldoa movement class. Aldoa is a posture-based modality that works with muscles and fascial tension to create space in specific joints. The Aldoa exercises are specific techniques created by world-renowned osteopath Guy Boyer. You can register online for that. And until next time, everyone, be well, aloha, and good night. Thank you.